Inside Oceanside, your monthly magazine about the people, issues, and events in Oceanside.
Hello, and welcome to the February 2003 edition of Inside Oceanside, your monthly community news magazine. I'm Don Williamson, and if you're a regular viewer, you'd probably expect to hear Amy tell you now how we cover the events and the people and things that shape Oceanside. We still do that, but as we told you last month, Amy's reserve unit has been deployed, and she'll be gone for a few months. And until then, my new co-host is Janine Pocell. Janine's a California girl that spent several years in England acting, was an award-winning actress actually, came back here as a member of the board of KOCT, worked most recently on The Weakest Link. With a pedigree like that, I'm just glad to have her. Janine, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much, and especially for such a lovely introduction. I'm going to be keeping Amy's seat warm here while she's deployed in Afghanistan. We're going to be sending her copies of Inside Oceanside so that she can keep up with everything that's going on in Oceanside, and hopefully she's going to be sending us some footage back again. So it's a real pleasure to be here, Don.
Well, great, and we're going to start right away having you earn your keep, and we're going to show you what's on this month's show. On the February edition of Inside Oceanside, we'll visit a Snow Goose Global Thanksgiving.
Then we're off to the new High School of Business and Technology.
We'll find out about green waste and curbside mixed paper recycling.
Then we have some World War II veterans visiting El Camino High School.
All this and more on this edition of Inside Oceanside. We know it's February, but we thought we'd bring you Thanksgiving in February. There was an unbelievable Thanksgiving event that takes place here each year, and we've actually talked to you about it before, and we wanted to bring it to you again this year. And this is actually the first time that we could get it on the screen for you. And it's something you've actually been to, right, Janine?
Yeah, I went to it last year. It's called Snow Goose Global Thanksgiving, and it's an event intended to promote world peace and harmony. It's held at Victor Villaseñor's house, who's a noted Oceanside author, actually well known around the world. It was produced and presented by Courtney Richards and shot by Jake Rush.
Right, and as Janine said, Victor Villaseñor is actually a local hero. He's a hero because of what he writes and because of who he is. This piece will tell you a little bit more about just who he is.
Hello, my name is Victor Villaseñor. This is our home in Oceanside. My parents built this home in 1945, and here we are 57 years later, and we have this great celebration for world peace, where there's only one race, the human race, one God. And the name of it is Snow Goose Global Thanksgiving. What we're doing is we're reenacting the starting of the United States when the Indians helped the Pilgrims to get through that harsh winter. And now we're taking November, Thanksgiving, and going global with it.
Give me back my old boat, I'm gonna sail if she'll float when I get those deep river blues.
Victor, a renowned author and humanitarian, has been holding this annual Thanksgiving potluck for over 10 years. He named it Snow Goose Global Thanksgiving based on his observations of the snow goose and their harmony with nature.
Snow geese have been living in peace and harmony for 20 million years because they know that men were never meant to lead. They're supposed to follow in front. And women and children are the natural leaders because it's their survival that's necessary for the tribe to go on.
That was one of the lessons I learned as a kid, is that by learning from nature and learning from these geese, it gave us ideas of how humans should interact.
Nearly 1,500 people showed up for this year's event, all with different reasons for celebrating.
I think it's a really neat concept, global Thanksgiving, especially this time of year when there's unrest and talk of war. I think it's really important that we celebrate us as a world, as a community.
Everyone brought some food, some desserts. We had some singing, some storytelling, some interpretive dances, and it's just been a nice way to get to know our neighbors and our community.
An extra special guest was Chinese humanitarian Dr. Yuan Ryo, who had a candid chat with Victor right in front of our cameras.
Men will always end up in war. Women, grandmothers with children, they'll bring peace and harmony right away.
And the man also change it too.
He'll change too.
Yeah. When man become a
big
peaceful husband. Thank you.
The day continued on with food, entertainment, and good company. The festivities end with the candlelight prayer aimed at sending a positive, peaceful energy around the world.
Let us see these dark moments in her story, not his story, but in her story. And let us light candles and light our hearts and souls to bring light to the darkness. Let us face east, where the sun comes. Let us face east and send our love around the earth for 30 seconds in silence till we feel it come back and kick us to the butt side. And then we move forward and we realize that we're relaxed in our hearts and souls.
All the darkness in the entire world cannot put out the light of one candle. And this event is like a candle that is shining bright and removing darkness in the world.
For Inside Oceanside, this is Courtney Richards.
There's a new high school in town, and it's all about business and technology.
It's about kids getting to make a choice about where they get to go to school and also what they get to study. When they come out of the school, they also have a full semester of college credit, which is pretty cool.
That's right.
It was produced by Genevieve Prentice and shot by Don Sinatra.
And here it is.
Hi, I'm Genevieve Prentice, and I'm here visiting the School of Business and Technology. This is a new school in Oceanside. It's not just a new building, it's a whole innovative program that gives students the responsibility for their own education in a way that you don't find at most high schools.
I think the key issue to know is this is a school of choice. What does that mean? Well, school of choice means that students have to want to come here.
That's because kids here don't just memorize for a test. They're problem solving every day.
That's the idea behind project-based learning, is presenting problems that need solutions and creating a situation that requires them to get the solution. And so we're doing a lot of that sort of stuff here, is presenting problems to kids, and then as they explore the problem, then they're much more willing to learn how to solve that problem.
All these projects that we've been doing, that would be like done within a semester of at Oceanside, when this has only been done within like a week or two. Yeah, it's fun, like, because you get to work as a group, so you have more help. And like, you're more motivated because they want to do it, and so all together you're like, okay, like, let's get it done. Everyone wants to get it done, and so it's a better way of working.
You do the project, you analyze the project, you learn the material. It's easier because not only that you're not like reading, you're listening, you're doing. You know, everything's like hands-on, which is basically better because it's like you're learning 100% through. It's easier and harder in a way. You're given more flexibility, more time to do your work, but at the same time, you know, you're at your own pace and it's hard because there's nobody supervising you, and you're like given the flexibility of an adult that, you know, most students don't get to have during their high school career life.
You know, I think what the best part of this school is the association we have with Miracosta College. Every one of our students will have a semester worth of college when they graduate from high school. We have kids who are taking geometry and trigonometry and psychology and sociology and languages, and then some of them are experiencing the dance and ceramics.
Students at the High School of Business and Technology in their junior year write their resume, learn what's expected in an interview, and evaluate future career options through internships at many local businesses.
We're going to be interviewed for our internships at whatever company we assigned for. Like I assigned for Ridgeline Enterprises for marketing and sales.
How do you think the internship's going to look on your resume?
I think it's going to look pretty good, yeah. For an internship, yeah. It's going to look pretty. We're going to have several internships, so yeah, it's going to look nice on my resume.
This is where the school started. We said we wanted kids to be able to make a choice on everything they do. The kids meet, we have an agenda, we debate the issues of the school, we make decisions, and we allow the kids to participate in the school in a way that they're not able to do at a larger high school.
Well, the town hall meeting is a place where you could just get your ideas out. We come all together as a group, and we have an open forum where we discuss our opinions on whatever topic. Like, we just form our own committees, and then we ask people to, like, if they want to get involved, like, just to come to us.
There's a lot more responsibility expected from the student at this school. There's not nearly as many checks. There's not nearly as many, are you really doing this or are you really doing that? A lot of it is placed upon the student. There is no secret to good leadership. You just figure out what motivates somebody and then supply that, and then off they go.
This is Genevieve Prentice for Inside Oceanside.
Recycling should be an important part of every community. It certainly is here in Oceanside. We've got a great program, and believe it or not, it just got better. The piece you're about to see will tell you all about a brand new curbside mixed paper pickup that all of you should be taking advantage of.
And we are underutilizing the green waste program also, where you get to get all the rubbish and trash from your garden. It gets picked up in those big green bins, gets taken to El Corazon, and you get to get the compost for free, which is very cool.
It is very cool. And Guy Water produced this segment, and here it is.
Oceanside is starting a new recycling program, which will help to conserve our rapidly disappearing natural resources and save valuable landfill space.
Beginning February of this year, our waste hauler, Waste Management in North County, will start collecting mixed paper at single-family dwellings curbside to make it more convenient to recycle.
At the Waste Management Recycling Center, Ms. Lori Summers helps us define what qualifies as recyclable mixed paper.
Mixed paper is considered any color of paper, your newspaper, inserts that come inside your newspaper, cereal boxes, magazines, telephone books, catalogs, and also your cardboard if it's in smaller pieces. Items that are not acceptable are things like styrofoam cups, napkins and Kleenexes, paper cups, paper towels, toilet paper, plastic bags, and wax-type cardboard. Another thing not to put in a type of cardboard is pizza boxes. The contamination of the oils and food left on the boxes are considered trash.
To best facilitate the speedy retrieval of your recycling, Waste Management offers a friendly recycling tip.
When you put your recycling out on your normal service day, you only need to put the recycling out when it's full. If it's not very much, go ahead and skip a week.
As the list of what should go into the trash can shortens, it is important to know how to most conveniently integrate recycling into your schedule.
What we're doing is requesting that our citizens, when they take their mixed paper and put it in the container for the curb, all your loose mail that you want to dispose of, please rip them up into pieces and put them inside a large envelope or inside of a paper bag. That will stop the material from flying around the street, and then you can place your larger cereal boxes, other containers, other cardboard type containers into the container at the curb and place it out there for disposal and recycling.
When you place your recycling out on the curb, there are some simple guidelines Waste Management would like you to follow.
The reason the waste hauler is requesting that our residents break down the boxes to 3 by 4 feet sizes and compress them and remove the material inside is that the trucks have a compartment where the material is carried, and it's only so large, and unless the boxes are broken down, they won't fit into the container, and the drivers can't load the boxes up efficiently.
The vast amount of oil, water, and lumber conserved is only one reason to recycle.
We're required by Assembly Bill 939 to divert 50% of the tonnage of material that goes to the landfills. By introducing this new program for our residents, we can divert more material from the landfills and save landfill space and use the mixed paper in other products. We have curbside green waste collection here in Oceanside also for our residents. We have it for our single-family dwellings, and it's available for multiple units. The green waste is all weeds, trees, shrubs, grass that you can collect from your property and put into the green waste toter. It's a 96-gallon container. That is the way that the City of Oceanside has worked out the contract to collect the material. We ask our citizens to not put the green waste out on the curb in plastic bags because the plastic bags will contaminate the material, and we have wonderful material at our compost facility.
The El Corazon compost facility lets the green waste decompose into compost and makes the compost readily available to residents.
And in Oceanside, if you're a resident, you can come out here and get it for nothing. And if you want your grass and your flowers to grow like crazy, they just jump out of the ground.
There are different grades of compost and mulch available to Oceanside residents, providing one more incentive to recycle your green waste.
One of the problems with green waste going to landfills is that it has a high quantity of water, and that water can add to production of methane gases and other pollutants that can damage the groundwater and also vent it up into the air.
Landfills can contaminate the environment and cost taxpayers a lot of money, especially when we have to send our waste farther after we have filled our local landfills.
Recycling is an issue that is very predominant in our community now. Our population is growing. We're using raw materials up. We have limited resources, and recycling is one way of saving natural resources and using material over again. Our green waste is being used over again. The paper products can be used over again, and what we're doing is saving the earth, saving natural resources, and saving water.
This next piece is extremely timely given conditions in the world today. It's about some World War II veterans who went to El Camino High School to talk to young people about war.
It was a nice chance for the kids at El Camino to find out what war was like for their grandfathers. The music, by the way, is the award-winning El Camino Chorale.
Right, and the piece not only talks about how war was for their grandparents, it also talks about what war is like, period. And it was done by Linda Szabo and Sean Lennon.
Bringing to life a time in history that most of us only read about in books is a powerful teaching tool. We truly appreciate your time and commitment, and it's a pleasure to honor you on this special day.
I went into the war in 1942, and I didn't know what was going to happen, but I found the training well, and I've made some great friends that will always remember the rest of my life. If you look at these gentlemen up here on the stage, you might say, how did we ever win the war? But you must remember that these men up here were about at your age in 1941, and that they were called into duty. And when the draft was announced, we all waited to see when our number would be coming up, because they were going by the thousands, and they were ready to go.
America, America, God shed His grace on
How come you guys didn't have guns?
We didn't have guns. On one ship, the old tanker I was on, didn't have any guns. It was built in 1910. We just, you know.
You guys went out there without guns?
Yes.
They hit us, and we weren't prepared for it. We lost over 500 men a day in a period of 5 weeks. Picking up the American dead was a terrible job. As bad as you could ever have for any one person. I had 8 men. And we went out and picked them up out of the foxholes and wherever they were killed. So we tried to take the body out as fast as we could every day. Some days we pick up 1 or 2, and some days we pick up 15 and 20. But they were on the front line in a foxhole, just like you are right here. One after the other. And that was our job, to go up and get them, pick them up, put them into a Jeep, get them out of there. This is the interesting thing here. This second one here, one of the big German tanks that they had. The tank was taller than this ceiling, and it weighed 63 tons. And it could go through a building like this and never slow up. It fired a cannon, a big 88 millimeter cannon, this big around and that long, could fire for 17 miles. And I jumped in a foxhole a couple times. There was a GI already in there. And he said, hey, he said, thank you, buddy. He said, well, what for? He said, you're on top of me. He said, you'll get killed and I'll live. Questions? And there's my blood. Questions? And I told my men, I said, now be careful, because it might be booby trapped. Well, we loaded the second truck, and I walked away about from here to the down the city over here, and boom! Every one of my men in that dump was killed just like that. I'd gone clear through the war with them, and then they were killed the next day. I've never had such a terrible job in my life as to write a letter to the surviving family back home.
Read your history. Well, I thank you this morning, and I wish you all the very best.
That about does it for this edition of Inside Oceanside. We're already busy working on next month's show and putting together a great lineup for you.
If you have any comments about the show, or if you have ideas on stories that you'd like us to film or events, please call the number on the screen.
That's right, we'd love to hear from you. And until next time, remember, it's great to be inside Oceanside. Goodbye.